Okay, got the backer board all dry fitted in place, and I'll be pulling it up and starting to mortar it down here shortly. I decided to go with Hardie backer board, 1/4 inch. There's been a lot of discussion online about cement board as opposed to uncoupling membranes such as Hardie Ditra, but I decided to go with the Hardie backer board for a couple reasons. One, I needed the right height. I didn't want to redo all the door trims, and with a 1/4 inch and the large format tiles that I'm going to be using, the measurement will come out exactly right. And another reason, I've never had a problem. We tiled this floor ourselves 21 years ago, and we used cement backer board and never had a problem with any cracking or movement. So we decided to go with the Hardie backer board, and as you can see, they recommend an 1/8 inch gap on all the seams and a 1/4 inch at the walls. Here I cut holes in the Hardie backer board for the toilet flange and the water supply. Here are the accommodations that I made for the standalone soaking tub drain, which is going to go there, and the tub filler, which is going to be installed over here. If you saw my previous video where I relocated all the drain lines and the supply lines, you saw where I installed this Jacuzzi direct drain kit. This kit makes it so easy to get your drain lines connected without having to have access from underneath. What I did was connect the kit directly to the P-trap when I had access cut in the floor, and then secured it to the subfloor once I replaced the subfloor. And then when it comes time to put the tub in, you just put an extension, brass extension pipe on the tub. Take this cap off. It's got a rubber gasket on it real tight, and so the brass extension just slides right down into the quick drain kit. And this is what I decided to do. Instead of putting the tub filler directly on top of the tile, the cover for the filler is a little bit larger than this. So what I did was cut the access hole for the supply lines to come up into the filler, and once again on my previous videos I showed you how I left the plumbing and an access hole down in the utility room to get that all connected. What I'll end up doing is screwing and gluing this ring down to the subfloor, raise that up to the height that I need the filler to be, and cut the hole in the tile just large enough to screw the base down of the filler down to the wood. And then, like I said, the cover is just a little bit larger than all this to cover all that up. I wanted it to go into wood instead of going through the tile on the backer board. I thought it would be a little more secure that way. When installing 1/4 inch Hardie backer board over plywood or an OSB subfloor, the subfloor needs to be 3/4 of an inch thick. You can use the same thin set for installing the Hardie backer board that you will be using for installing your tile. The thin set is more of a gap filler than a bonding agent, as the screws that you will be installing is what will be holding the backer board down. 1/4 inch Hardie backer board requires using a 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch notch trowel for applying the thin set. Work your thin set into the subfloor and make your final leveling passes all in the same direction to ensure an even layer of thin set. Carefully position your Hardie backer board in place while making sure to maintain an 1/8 of an inch gap at all the seams. Press it into the thin set by walking on it, stepping your way from side to side. Hardie backer board has an embedded grid with 8 inch markers, which makes pointing out your screw locations a breeze. You should keep screws 3/4 of an inch to 2 inches in from the edges and 2 inches in on both sides of the corners. Another thing to keep in mind is to offset your seams so that you don't end up with 4 pieces coming together in one place. The last step in installing your HardieBacker board is applying a mesh tape. Start by spreading a thin layer of thinset a couple inches wider than the tape. It is very important not to get the thinset on the seams too thick, as that will cause problems in leveling your tile later on. Make sure you are using an alkali-resistant mesh tape and carefully lay the tape into the thinset. Finally, apply another thin layer of thinset over the top of the mesh tape. Once again, you'll want to keep this layer thin also. Use your trowel to flatten out the edges of the tape. You don't need to bury the tape. The top of the tape should be showing through the thinset when you're finished. So here's the HardieBacker board installation complete. Be sure to check out the bathroom remodel playlist on DIY Boomers to see the entire process of the bathroom remodel to this point. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you'll be notified on upcoming videos, as we're getting to the interesting part of the remodel where the bathroom finishes will be installed. See you next time.